you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through every single book that I read in 2019, and I'm not going to go through synopsis or reviews or anything like that because there's too many. I read 55 books this year. I did meet my Goodreads challenge. I try to do one more every single year. So last year I did 54. And this year I did 55. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what they were and give you the rating that I rated them on Goodreads. I'm just going to be using my phone to keep track of, I would want to go in order, of course. So the ones that I have, obviously I will show you. The ones that I don't have anymore, because some of them I unhauled and some of them I listened on audiobooks, so I'll just pop a picture up here so that you know what they were. So the first book that I read is The Grim Legacy by Polly Shulman, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was If You Knew Her by Emily Elgar, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Next is Possessed by Kate McCann, and once again, 4 out of 5 stars. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, 5 out of 5 stars. Baby Teeth by Zoe Stage, 5 out of 5 stars. The Woman in the Walls by Amy Lukovacs, and 4 out of 5 stars. 50 Shades of Grey and 50 Shades Darker, both by E.L. James. I gave both of these a 4 out of 5 stars. I did end up unhauling them, only because I don't think that I'll ever read them again, not because I didn't like them, although I didn't like the last one. Next is The Devil Crept In by Anaya Alborn, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Following that one is Brother, also by Anaya Alborn, and I also gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. The next book was 50 Shades Freed, once again by E.L. James. I gave this one a 2 out of 5 stars and was the reason why I did end up unhauling them. The reason why I don't think I would read the trilogy again. Next is The Secret Path by Christopher Pike, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5. The next book that I listened to on Audible was Think Better, Live Better. A Victorious Life Begins With Your Mind by Joel Osteen, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. This one is about the law of attraction. Next is Dream House, and I always butcher this author's name, so I'm sorry in advance, but I think it's pronounced Marzia Bizonin. Sorry. And also sorry that I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. The next book is YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. This one was a 4 out of 5. The next book was Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Next was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and I gave this one 5 out of 5. The next two books were both from Rachel Hollis, Girl Stop Apologizing and Girl Wash Your Face, both massive 5 out of 5s. The next book is Old Souls by Tom Schroeder, and this one was a 1 out of 5. Following that 1-star read, I read Ruined by Paula Morris, and this was a 5-star read. Next is a book that, to be honest with you, I do still have, but it's downstairs and I'm lazy, and that is R.L. Stein's Goosebumps collection, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5, if for nothing other than for nostalgic reasons. The next book is This Is Not a Werewolf Story by Sandra Evans, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5 as well. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, a 4 out of 5. The Next Person You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom, 5 out of 5. Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I gave this one a 3 out of 5. The next book is What the Dead Want by Nora Olson, and this one was a 3-star read. Give Me the Child by Mel McGrath ended up being a 4-star read. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus was definitely a 5-star read, followed by Like Never and Always by Anne Aguirre, which was also a 5-star read. Next is another book that is downstairs I'm too lazy to go and get, and that is part of the Babysitter's Little Sisters series. I'm trying to read some of the ones from my childhood that I've collected. I'm trying to intersperse that in with my reading here and there, and the one that I read was around Halloween time, and it was Karen's Ghost, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. Once again, nostalgia. The next book is The Dwelling by Susie Maloney, and this one was a 2 out of 5. Next on Audible, I listened to The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5. Followed by Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which was a 4 out of 5. Next, I listened to The Wrong Girl by C.J. Arthur, and this one was a 3 out of 5. followed by Anne Rule's The Stranger Beside Me, the Ted Bundy story, and this one was a 4 out of 5. Next was the start of a 10-book series. This is Pendragon, Book 1, The Merchant of Death by DJ McHale, and this one was a 4 out of 5. Next was The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, which was a 3 out of 5. Fiend, The Shocking True Story of America's Youngest Serial Killer by Harold Schroeder, and this one was a 2 out of 5. Next was part of the Asylum series by Madeleine Roux, and this was Catacomb, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Next is Finale by Stephanie Garber, and I gave this one a resounding 5 out of 5. Following Finale is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this one was a 3 out of 5, which surprised me because the other Marissa Meyer books that I've read have all been 5 out of 5s. Next was the start of a new trilogy, The Haunting of Sunshine Girl, and this one was a 5 out of 5. Next is the Asylum novellas, and this one was a 3 out of 5, also by Madeleine Roux. Following that was the last book in the Asylum series. This is Escape from Asylum, and this one was a 4 out of 5. Next was a book that Georgia brought to me, and so she has it now, and it is the Arrow Book of Ghost Stories, and this is an anthology book that actually belonged to her mother. It was a really cute little read, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. The next book that I read is The Beast is an Animal by Peter Nell Van Arsdale, and again, I know I probably ruined that pronunciation. I apologize, but this one was a 4 out of 5. Stephanie Perkins surprised me with this one. There's Someone Inside Your House. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. It was a book by my favorite author, Mitch Albom. This one was Finding Chica, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Next on Audible, I listened to The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman and gave this one a 5 out of 5. Followed by Moira Fowley Doyle's, that's a mouthful to say, Spellbook of the Lost and Found, which I gave a 4 out of 5. The next 2 books I read on Audible, and that was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, and I gave this one a 3 out of 5. Followed by The 5 Love Languages for Children, once again by Gary Chapman, as well as Dr. Ross Campbell, and this one was a 5 out of 5 as well. Next, once again, is one that's downstairs in my basement, and this is The Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, The Case of the Christmas Caper. This one was a 3 out of 5 because even Nostalgic couldn't turn that one into a 4 or a 5. And the last book that I read this year was the second book in the Sunshine series, and that is The Awakening of Sunshine Girl by Paige Mackenzie. This one was a 4 out of 5. So you guys, those were the 55 books that I read this year. I would love to know in the comments down below what you read this year, how many books you read, and what are your reading goals for next year. I'm planning on trying to read 56 books next year, so we'll see how I do. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you liked this style of video, if you'd like me to continue doing this and making this a yearly thing. I always find it's kind of interesting to see what everybody read when they're doing these lists. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!